Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah Catherine and this is Leah Sees Movies. Today is Falcon and Winter Soldier Friday. I'm super excited to get into it. Last week we got our first look at Zemo, and because I broke my own rule and went on Twitter on a Friday morning, I'm pretty sure Sharon comes back in this episode, so I'm really excited to get into it. Let's get started.
Stealing medicine, vaccines. Hi.
Yeah, they're stealing medicine. Bad guys don't usually steal medicine. Not never, but not usually. Seriously, how is anyone confused about why Sam isn't taking the shield? Look at this! That whole scene with Isaiah Bradley, then immediately followed by him getting pulled over by the cops. Bro, it's a little rough to take on the stars and stripes as a black guy in this country. Our first black president didn't solve racism. I kind of wish they'd kept the band as the intro for the entire season, just because I really liked it.
When half of us came back, it was time to rejoice and reunite, helping you get back to the way things were. GRC, the Global Repatriation Council. Okay, so I feel like I'm gonna get what I wanted, which is like explain more of how the world used to be and why the Flag Smashers would want to get back to it. Oh, of course, GRC, happy, loving, build a home, reunite families, and then immediately, cops. Oh, it's gonna be the nice guy we saw with the chicken livers. The highest quality. Why does Captain America have, yeah, why does he have the right to go into a house in Munich? Bullshit. We know she...
Like, obviously he's working with the Global Repatriation Council, but...
Do you know who I am?
I mean,
yes, I do, and I don't care.
Speaking for Twitter, dude. But also, I hope they filmed that pre-COVID.
You want this, I get it. But we've literally tried everything we can here. So is Langley.
I love that they're just like, we're working so hard, except all you did was copy Sam's homework in the first place. Like,
bet on someone who's got a better hand.
Yeah, he's just being like, I don't know, I can't think of anything, so I'll just follow them around and then try to claim credit.
I'm gonna go on alone.
Why?
Because you're an Avenger. You know how he feels about that.
Look, it's not like you two are known for frolicking in the sun together.
Unlike you two. Okay, yes, Sam is an Avenger, which Zemo does not like, but Bucky is a super soldier, which Zemo does not like. I feel like you've tried to weigh which of his personal biases would make him less receptive to talking to you. He went straight into it. He's like, hey, let me see if that works again. Or just to re-traumatize you. One or the other.
Worth, I'm sorry. It was never personal. We're simply a means to a necessary end.
Yeah, that's not dehumanizing at all.
Which means you are desperate. Luckily for you, I know where to begin.
What are you talking about? You want to break Zemo out of jail? When?
Literally was saying, they're not going to break him out of jail, are they? Well...
He blew up the UN. He killed King T'Chaka and framed you for it. Did you forget that? You think the Wakandans forgot about it?
It's a rhetorical question. They didn't.
Let me just walk you through a hypothetical. Can I walk you through a hypothetical?
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Can I walk you through a hypothetical? What did you do? Oh, God.
Left and right. Wouldn't be hard to slip down a hallway or two.
Okay, how's the door open? If it's a lockdown procedure. He just walked out? Okay, that's a little too easy. We need to show how the door was unlocked. That's gonna really bother me otherwise. Bro.
Whoa, hey, what are you doing here?
I didn't want to tell you because I knew you wouldn't let this happen, okay?
What did you do?
We need him, Sam.
Everything I just said.
If I may.
No!
Alright, y'all, mom and dad are fighting.
When Steve refused to sign the Sokovia Accords, you backed him. You broke the law and you stuck your neck out for me.
I mean,
I'm asking you to do it again.
Kinda for you. Mostly for Steve. I don't know if we're there yet, man. I don't know if I'm breaking international law there for you right now.
If we do this...
If. It's
you
done.
don't make a move.
I thought it was gonna be 48 hours and they like check him out for the day. Didn't realize Bucky was just like, we made eye contact and I broke him out of jail. That's it.
Someone can create an army of people. Like the Avengers.
Sam's a normal dude. The mask. He's like, not yet, but soon.
First stop is a woman named Selby. Mid-level fence I still have a line on. From there we climb.
I always love the whole, like, genius in prison who still somehow knows exactly how the criminal network is working.
My family was royalty until your friends destroyed my country. Zdravo ti jest.
I always want to see the casting call for just insanely old man to be a butler. Just the oldest man. If you could pass for Prince Philip, please respond.
People you've wronged as the Winter Soldier.
Did he title it? How is he just like, obviously I know what this is.
Captures the African-American experience.
He's out of line, but he's right. It's great. Everybody loves Marvin Gaye.
I like Marvin Gaye.
Steve adored Marvin Gaye.
I'm not Steve.
The super soldiers is that we put them on pedestals.
Watch your steps, Zemo.
They become symbols, icons, and then we start to forget about their flaws. James, you will have to become someone you claim is gone.
Oh, that's why. That explains the outfit, because that's been bothering me since the still pictures. Sam in that like amazing elaborate suit, and then he's just backpack on in the club. Also, who let the Winter Soldier with the backpack into the club? You're a terrible bodyguard. Dying mom is always a good way to mom? Yeah, probably mom. Good way to get audience sympathy. Seeing her playing with children. Ah, the suit! The suit is here. I'm so happy.
If we have to do something about this, I'm the only one who looks like a pimp.
He does not look a pimp. He looks awesome. It's a great suit. That kid looks way too nerdy to have a gun that big. Power broker is watching. Okay. Ooh. Oh, there she is. There she is. I don't. How out? What the hell? Oh, good thing he's from Louisiana. He's like, I don't want to eat this. Why are rich people just living life like it's Fear Factor? What's something weird about that?
Or bring Selby for a chat.
So everyone knows who the Winter Soldier is. Makes sense. But not that, like, he's normal and good.
Invitation. In Madripoor, he's judge, jury, and executioner.
I wouldn't be happy about that video getting out.
This is 4K! How did they get you in 4K?
Oh, Zemo is literally like throwing people in, like, go fight them, it'll be funny.
Selby will see you now.
Well, that worked. When Sam was like, I'm more of a soldier than a spy, he was right. He's not too good at undercover work. Honestly, he's extremely suspicious.
And I give you him.
I knew
Along with
it.
the code words to control him, of course.
Poor Bucky.
You'll do anything you want.
Just getting sold.
To Wilfred Nagel is the man you want to thank, or condemn, depending on what side of this you're on.
Could have put your phone on silent this one time. Bro, really? Your sister's calling?
On speaker.
Seriously? Rookie moves! You're a terrible spy. Terrible. Also, I would just talk big and be like, yes, I'm very important. I have calls.
Yeah, the bank, yeah. Laundering so much money. Don't come around.
This is... Yo, my God. This is so painful.
Let me call you back.
Sam.
Yo.
Who's Sam? Kill them.
Oh. Well, that worked out then. Oh.
You cost me everything.
So what are you doing here?
I stole Steve's shield, remember? I also took the wings for your ass so that you could save his ass from his ass. Like you, I didn't have the Avengers to back me up, so I'm off the grid in Madripoor.
Sharon, we need your help.
Okay, we need your help. Did you not hear the sob story? I'm angry.
I have a place in Hightown. You should be safe there for a while. Much better. You know the whole hero thing is a joke, right? I mean, the way you gave up that shield, deep down you must know it's all hypocrisy.
Dude, everyone's being rude as hell.
Mr. America, Cap's best friend.
Uh-oh. She's kind of awful now.
Carl,
I love her.
I can get your name cleared.
Can you? You can't even get a bank loan.
All right, a deal then. You help us out, and I get your name clear.
All right, so Zemo can't dance. Oh.
Hey, Sharon, you sure this is the right one?
It's completely empty.
Is it gonna be like, oh, it's actually like 3 containers attached to each other, and there's like a secret door. Yeah. Don't think it takes a criminal genius to just be like, let's try and see if the super scientist who's cracked the soldier serum, backed by a powerful criminal organization, maybe can afford more than a basic storage unit as a lab.
Get out of my lab.
Hey. You know who he is, right?
Everyone being terrified of Bucky is very funny to me.
About a counter proposal. Make me a better offer and I'll talk.
Okay, I break 3 of your ribs. We see how conversational you're feeling. It's a better offer than 4 of your ribs. Hell yeah, Sharon!
I was recruited by the CIA. They had blood samples from an American test subject with semi-stable traces of serum in his system. I was able to isolate the necessary compounds in his blood. I was a god.
And then the CIA tried to disappear you, I'm assuming? And then Power Broker wanted to...
How have we never heard about this?
Because
Sam, you seem very out of the loop. I hate to say it.
Power Broker was more than happy to fund the recreation of my work.
How many vials did you make?
20. Carly Morgan Thau stole those.
All 20? Nice. That's what I call a girl boss. Poor Sharon. I'm gonna need y'all to tell this dude to talk faster. Like he's giving you the dramatic rendition. Oh, this and this. Nah. Wrap it up. Speed it up. I like her fighting style. She's like brutal. She's great.
Is there any serum in this lab?
No.
I'm here.
No!
Duh. He hates super soldiers. The one man who's perfected the recreation of the serum, he's gonna kill him. That's why you wanted him. Because he's very anti-super soldier serum. The good news is, I would be like, oh, Power Broker, that guy killed your scientist. We were chilling. Womp. Is this when US agents gonna show up? Cause like y'all have made yourselves very obvious. And if I was a lazy American asshole being like, I wonder where the bad guys are. Oh, it's mask time. Yeah, that'll do it. Where are all these hands? Oh no, he was a Sokovian special ops. I was gonna say, like, where did he get all the moves from? But I forgot. He can fight too.
Let's go.
I love it. PG-13, but we're getting there. I like it.
Supercharged.
You're going back to jail.
Do you want to find Carly or not?
He's right. We need him. And there's 2 of us and at least 20 of them. Come on.
Fine. But if you try that shit again...
Wouldn't dream of it.
Just get me that part and you promised me.
Thanks for everything.
Aww.
You're not gonna move your seat up, are you?
No.
Childish.
We've got a big problem. I've
Ooh.
seen a couple of them. I'll tell you in the car. Let's go.
Who it is? There are plans. Ooh, who's this? Who's this?
I always thought I'd be a teacher, like Mama Donya.
Okay, not necessarily her mom, but like orphanage or.
When everybody returned, and we got put out on the street, I knew that it was the only place that had something that I could use to protect us.
How? You're like 12.
Power broker was about to come begging.
So we just have the one fight ahead of us then. I'll take those odds. Maybe you get to be a teacher after all this is over, eh?
Maybe.
And Walker and Hoskins.
If we get the job done, do you really think they're gonna sweat us on the how?
Refugee.
The difference.
Okay, I'm on it.
Okay, call me if you get a hit.
Will do.
Thanks, Torres.
Torres! Just over the phone, but my boy.
Just thinking about all the shit Sharon had to go through.
And you didn't think of her twice. Directed at Kevin
Subject,
Feige.
Like Isaiah wasn't even a real person. Just makes me wonder how many people have to get steamrolled to make way for this hunk of metal. Maybe I shouldn't have put it in a museum. Maybe I should have destroyed it.
And good luck destroying vibranium.
So before you go and destroy it, I'm gonna take it from him myself.
All right, Bucky. I don't know how Bucky Cap is gonna roll with everyone in the current MCU, but I like your vim. Yeah, it's kind of hard not to just be like, all right, guys, steal some food. Redistribution's important. I don't really care how.
Don't you understand? We're fighting for our lives.
It's funny that they all wear the mask, but everyone knows who they are anyway. Like, it looks cool, but... Jesus Christ.
This is the only language these people understand.
Oh. So we're gonna start seeing a break, I think, between the Flag Smashers who are there for like, hell yeah, I'll like break in and steal some food, and the people who are like, let's do a murder. Hard.
You good? Yeah. See you guys in a bit.
Dude, Bucky's suspicious as hell. Like, you think he would just like, I decided it's time for a stroll. It's a lovely day out.
You dropped something.
Wait. Oh, wait, beads. Metal beads. Hold on.
I was wondering when you were gonna show up.
It took me too long. But when I was like, wait, metal beads, hold on. It took me too long, but I got there at the end. All those mentions of Wakanda, they couldn't. You got Wakandans in this bitch. Oh, I'm so happy. Was there a rest of the episode? I don't even know anymore. All I remember, Ayo's in the show now. Whew. Right, so I hope people now understand why Sam didn't want to pick up the shield. I do not want another, I just don't get it. He had a responsibility. Steve gave him the shield. No more of that. Is it not clear now? Do we get it? Is everyone on the same page about why Sam did not take the shield? Because it was getting annoying. Okay, the breakout was dumb. I'm sorry. It was too simple. He just walked out the door. That was it. And also, considering this is the prison that is holding freaking Zemo, who bombed the UN, killed the Wakandan king, and split up the Avengers, you think he'd be somewhere a little more secure. They put half the Avengers in the raft, including the ones that are just regular dudes. And they have Zemo in apparently a pretty shoddy prison in Munich. They could, it's like, again, maybe nitpicking, but these people, even if they hand waved it, I at least could have imagined something a bit more complex than just like, he walked out. He literally just walked outside. But whatever, that's not the most important thing. We get Rich Baron Zemo, we get the mask. Daniel Bruhl's performance as Zemo is so good. He's so good. And he's just like, he says kind of ridiculous things, and he has all of these like very self-serious monologues, but he just has this like wry humor. You can tell he's having a ball. Like, he's having so much fun just playing mind games with people, just completely being abusive to Bucky. Poor guy. Sam, he didn't have as much to say about Sam. Sam was an Avenger, which he's definitely nitpicking at, but picking that little scab, that wound. But he doesn't have that same personal beef because he's not a super soldier, he's not enhanced, he's not any of that. In effect, he's just a hyped up person in the military, so you can definitely criticize that ideology, but it's not like, Sam, you have personally destroyed Sokovia. He wasn't even there, so that's not his bag. Sharon was great. I like her personality. I like that it makes sense with what she's been through, and the fact that no one gave her a second thought. And it's very meta because also fans and the MCU itself seem to have not given Sharon a thought for quite a long time. So I like that she's like, no, I had to build my own life. You never even thought about me, did you? Which is funny because he mentions, I almost kind of wish that in that scene in the hangar, in the cargo plane, when Sam is like, oh, Sharon became an enemy of the state, me and Steve were on the run for 2 years, if he'd actually not even mentioned her, if it'd been like me, Steve, Natasha, Wanda, whatever, and then at the end it's like, oh crap, Sharon, she was there too. Because it makes it seem like, no, he does remember Sharon, but no light bulb went off. There was no moment of like, hey, whatever became of her after Civil War and Infinity War and the blip and all that stuff. Did anyone ever check in? It made Sam really bumbling in this episode. I didn't enjoy that. I feel like we got more of his mindset, which I enjoyed, but okay, granted, not everyone has to be a good spy. He never said he was a good spy. He said that from the beginning. But just, I leave my phone on silent to go to the grocery. I just don't want people calling me, so I don't understand how you're undercover all this and you have your phone on vibrate. It goes off in the middle of like this really intense like exchange, criminal underworld, like bartering, and just your phone goes off. Wow. That just seems like rookie moves. Also, you broke out an international prisoner. How are you not turning off your smartphone? They can track you with that. We've already established you're being tracked. Yes, through One Ring, but also in reality through everything. Turn that off. Get a burner. This is rookie moves. I didn't like that. I didn't like that he was awkward. It took him like 4 shots to do the shot. I was just like, why did they make him like kind of dumb in this episode? Not dumb, but just like awkward and like, I don't know how to do the spy thing. Like, pull it together, man. Just, even if that's not necessarily your bag, pull it together. Like, his best scenes were with Sharon, even though they were kind of disgustingly optimistic, but at least you saw some of that, like, no, I can fix this, I can do better, like, I messed up and I'm gonna atone for that. And that's the energy I want to see with him, but I also want to see him just being a really capable soldier, and I feel like this episode really went a long way to just make him look goofy. Like, I didn't like that at all. So Bucky, I felt bad for him, but like, this was a good episode for him. Last episode, he was kind of whiny, and he still was, but like, you are getting how much this means to him and how much the shield means to him in a less like, but that was Steve's kind of way. Like, you're actually seeing what it means as a symbol, but at the same token, the dangers of a symbol. The fact that the symbol of Steve means so much to you, when of all people, you know he was just a person, a flawed person, a deeply flawed person. The end of Endgame still makes me mad. Then, and you're still falling for like the hype, for the sales pitch. That's really bad for when you see how other people respond to it. But also, he's like the #1 John Walker hater, and like, I can't believe this freaking guy. I was like, well, exactly. You're responding to Steve, sure, but you're buying into the symbol of the shield just as much as any other person. Is it a surprise that most Americans were like, hey, this dude seems really cool, he seems qualified enough, let's give him the shield and rah rah, we have a Barbie version of him or whatever. Like, let's get the action figure. So I don't know, it's like, he doesn't seem, Bucky was really good as a spy in this, but he didn't seem self-aware of like, the thing you're buying into is why it's dangerous. But I just want that moment of self-awareness. We still didn't get it in regards to the racial aspect of it, of like, hey, Sam, I showed you this guy who was in prison for 30 years and dehumanized the same way I was dehumanized, and he's still just like, what? I just want Bucky to have that like come to God moment of like, hey, I see your hesitation, and I see the inequity in treatment, and I see why you may not want to take on this mantle. It means something to me, but I understand where you're coming from, and he's yet to have that moment. I want that. Sharon was great. I'm repeating this. I really like Sharon in this episode. We left off on like, who was she working with? So I'm like, we're definitely gonna see her again. There's no way we're not going to. But yeah, her fighting style was so good. She was killing people. Like, people were dying. Good job, Sharon. That was just I'm happy. She deserves it. And Emily Van Camp also deserved her moment to come back and just steal the show for a bit. Because like, you'd think a show with Zemo on it, it's gonna be the Daniel Brühl show. But it wasn't. Emily Van Camp stole it for me in those moments. When she was on screen, that's who I was paying attention to. And oh my God, it totally makes sense. They even mentioned that with Sam, where it's like, hey, he killed King T'Chaka. Do you think the Wakandans forgot that? They haven't. And of course they haven't. Why would they? And of course they'd have an alert out. Like, what do you mean Zemo escaped? We're gonna handle this ourselves. Io's here. And I feel so dumb. Because I was looking at that bead and I was like, what is that? Then I saw the second one. And then it started to click. I was like, okay, it's Wakanda. I should know who it was gonna be. Florence Kasumba. Great. They were just like, ooh, a little sprinkle of Sharon, a little sprinkle of Am, just like every episode, bring me another lady spy, I want it. And obviously she's gonna be here for Zemo and not really give a crap about the whole, oh, they're super soldiers. Like, she's not gonna give a damn. Wakanda as a nation, and most people represented by it, are very goal-oriented and don't really care about the side effects. I mean, she may be like, oh, a bunch of super soldiers, like, seems bad, but those super soldiers are feeding people, so like, that's not my bag. Also, speaking of super soldiers, I like that we got more of the Flag Smashers. Finally, we're seeing a little bit more of what I was saying last week, of what exactly was the world like and what displacement happened to, you know, radicalize them in this way. It's like, okay, we're getting it. So she said when people came back, she was displaced. Was it because maybe in those 5 years, they, like, a bunch of orphans moved into a place, then the owner came back and was like, get these orphans out of here, this is my home. Like, we don't know the details of it, but we're getting some more crumbs for me to like piece together a story that fits the ideology. So that's making me happy. It's like they went through all this effort to make them sympathetic, and then of course we're gonna see Carly blow up the car, blow up the building with everyone tied up inside. So she just killed like dozens of people. And she's like, it had to be done. We saw with her very hot accomplice, I don't know his name, but he looked pretty horrified. Even if it's like, okay, we do violence to get the job done, but as you saw, like, we tied everyone up without major life-threatening damage. So I don't know if he's on board for murder, especially following their like, when everything's good, like, we could have been a teacher, we can build a home, we can feed these orphans. He seemed really taken aback by that. So I'm interested to see if we're gonna, we are spending a lot of time with the Flag Smashers, so I'm curious to see what's gonna be the consequences of Carly's choice to kill everyone, and if that's gonna cause like a serious divide within the Flag Smashers. I guess we're eventually going to see the Power Broker, because that's kind of the big bad of the show. There are only 20 vials of super soldier serum, and the Flag Smashers have all of them. The scientist is dead who recreated it, so presumably, I mean, the idea is with Isaiah in the blood samples that he had like fragmented versions of a very, like, an unstable serum. If he perfected his, and that's the version that all the Flag Smashers have, or at least 20 of them have, it seems like plausible that it would be able to be recreated by another scientist now that it's a more perfect serum and more easily identifiable. But so I'm curious if like the season ends with like all the Flag Smashers dying. I doubt that. I'm assuming that Zemo's goal would just be to wipe out all of those people and eliminate the possibility of recreating it. But I feel like I can't see the show doing that. Like, I think it likes having that in the water. And from the comics that I read, Power Broker is the one that gives John Walker his abilities. Because they said they stole all 20 doses, but I don't know if they took all 20 doses. Because we've seen like 10 or so people with apparent superpowers. So there might be like, that might be the reveal later, is that, you know, some people in the Flag Smashers have it, but there actually are still some serums on ice that like they were waiting to distribute to, you know, worthy candidates or whatever. And then that's maybe John Walker is gonna acquire that and decide to power up. That could be what happens later. I feel like that's a plausible theory. I don't know what next episode's gonna look like. Presumably it's gonna be a fight with AO. She's gonna want to take Zemo in. Bucky's gonna try to convince her otherwise. I hope she doesn't listen. I hope she beats Bucky up, because I don't know. I think he needs to get beat up a little. He needs to be more flexible. He's not bending. He's not seeing other sides. He's just seeing his perspective, which is a dangerous way of thinking. So I'd like to see that. Other than that, I guess we're gonna see whatever happens with the Flag Smashers. I want to see like the Power Broker. I want to put a face to the name. I'm curious if they're gonna actually do that, or if he's gonna remain this like looming threat until the finale. I'd rather just see him, because sometimes when you build up the threat too much, you're like inevitably disappointed, because you're like, oh, it's just some guy. So if you want me to see him as like really cool and interesting, give me like a little bit of development time, and don't like Fire Lord Ozai this, which is a successful use of that trope, because he was Fire Lord freaking Ozai. But not everyone else can pull that off, so I'd prefer to see the Power Broker sooner rather than later. Oh, also, speaking of, well, not speaking of, but John Walker, we're getting his more nefarious sides. It doesn't matter how we do it, as long as the job gets done, which, you know, commit some crimes, rough up some victims, which is not the Captain America ideal. Well, I mean, it's pretty American, but not the Captain America ideal that Steve Rogers has set forth. So I like that we're getting to see that little bit of development. The one thing I feel like the show has failed at, though, is everyone's desperate to stop the Flag Smashers, but apparently no one knew about, or not no one knew about them, but no one really gave a shit until Torres told Sam, who was like, let me go follow these people, then found out they're super soldiers. Now Bucky cares a lot. Now, and then Hoskins and Walker just kind of showed up because they needed a mission to look cool, and now they're like, we're desperate, we're tracking all our leads to find them. And it's like, no one seemed to care until Torres got his face stomped in. You guys are terrible at your jobs. This like 23-year-old lieutenant has cracked the case. He was the one tracking this international like terrorist organization, and none of you really helped. You just came in like the third quarter, and now you're like, this is a desperate mission, it's do or die, this is the focus, it's worth breaking Zemo out of prison for. Like, where was this energy beforehand? Okay, so I think that's all my thoughts for this week, although inevitably I'm going to rewatch this, find 14 new things that I want to talk about, and then beat myself up later for not including in this review, because that's what happens every week. But that's all I have for right now. So if you want to talk about it, leave it in the comments. I will respond. I like to talk about things. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. If you don't want to do that, but you've watched all the way to the end of this video, thank you very much. I still appreciate you. You can follow me on Twitter at LeahSeesMovies, and I will catch you next time. Peace!